career, they usually hit a damn wall. So those are some of the names. There's a couple more names I'll throw out there to you in a little while when we talk about these NFL free agents. But Adrian Peterson, there's talk right now of him possibly going to the Seattle Seahawks. I saw somewhere this morning online that they were talking about the Seattle Seahawks might be interested. That might be a good move. If you need a dominant runner, someone kind of like the production like you got out of Marshawn Lynch when he was there, Adrian Peterson, for what the Seahawks traditionally have done, they haven't done a lot of the newfangled stuff that these NFL teams do with running backs where they treat them kind of like, a slot receiver. They don't throw a lot of passes from what I remember with Marshawn Lynch and some of these backs this couple or this past year, where they don't throw a lot of passing routes, a lot of screens or whatever to the running back. So just a downhill runner in the mind of kind of like Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson would be a good move. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Thorny Switch in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Thorny says, Al, yeah, why you think because I'm a woman I don't want him on my team? Nah, he was punished and hasn't been in trouble since. If Ben can rape a woman and still start for the Steelers, Mixon deserves the opportunity to play. I agree with that 100%. That's it. I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. And talking about Joe Mixon from B. Jones, he says the kid was 17 when this happened. I'm not killing someone's future based on something they did at 17. Lord have mercy, man. Some of the things that I did at 17 stuck to me. You know what else I think is a big part of that too, and which is different today than when I was coming up, when I was 17 years old, is that video. Like, that video is so damn harsh to watch. And I've heard these types of stories about so-and-so hit their girlfriend or whatever my entire life, but usually it'd be a punishment, and there's not half as much hoopla made about it as this video of Mixon hitting this girl, as not Adrian Peterson, of, what's his name? Ray Rice, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens. When you see it on video, it just adds so much more to it, emotion. And that's really one of the big things. That's the big difference between now and then. All right? And I guess it's a good thing that you have this video. But, I mean, this type of thing happened a lot, probably even a lot more back in the day, because women's rights weren't what they were now, and, being treated on an equal platform just isn't what it is right now. We get better and better and more progressive as the years go, I imagine. But, man, when you see the video and when he hit this girl, it's very alarming. I'm not going to say it's not alarming. It's very disturbing because he looked like he tried to kill her. Like, it wasn't just a little chin check just to back up off me. It wasn't not like that. No, he, followed through. Like, it was like Mike Tyson-ish. And she fell like a sack of wet cement. I mean, man. But I agree. At the end of the day, I agree, man. This kid was 17 years old and made a mistake, and going to bring up the fact that supposedly they called him the N-word, and then she put her hands on him. So, I mean, I look at it from both sides. I don't think that I would have done that, but she shouldn't have put her hands on him. Like, all bets are off when you put your hands on me. And, if she calling the N-word, it's hard to walk away from somebody calling you the N-word. Or the opposite persuasion. From Gary G. Money Joyner, he says, why is it acceptable for women in particular, white women, to just beat on black men and black men can do nothing about it? I don't agree with that. I agree with what you're saying. I don't agree with that. Yeah, and it seems like that the outrage, a lot of the outrage, or more the outrage. Like, I wonder what would happen if the young lady were a black young lady. I wonder if she were black, would this be that big of a story? And I guess it probably would, because we have an example with Ray Rice and his girlfriend. It was still a big deal, and I think that was because of the video. Seeing the video, man, is just a game changer. I'm telling you, from ducking and dodging, these things come up at the draft. which they should, but Mixon will be fine. GMs don't keep their jobs passing on potentially great players. And that's ultimately, at the end of the day, let me look at this picture. Ooh-wee. Redland Kirk. Thank you, brother. Looking like Keisha from Belly. Thank you. Thank you, Redland Kirk, for your profile pic. Thank you, brother. Yeah. But ultimately, Joe Mixon is going to get drafted. He's probably going to get drafted higher than a lot of these, these talking heads are speculating. And I wish the young man nothing but success. That's it, period. I love these types of stories where you come back and make somebody eat their words. I remember when Vic came back out of jail, and remember that Monday night game, I think when he was with the Eagles against the Redskins, where he threw like 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns or whatever in the first half, and like 400 yards, just balled out of control. I was kind of like Mike Vick is back. So I always root for those cats to like make it, because so many people are just hating on him and don't want him to live. Like, you don't want the man to live. You don't want the man to make money doing what he likes to do. He made a mistake. So because he made a mistake, he shouldn't live? Oh, well, he can do something else for a living. All right, the man play football. What do you want him to do? You want him to go and flip burgers at McDonald's? What the fuck? I don't get that. Mike Golick this morning. He can go and work somewhere else. He doesn't have to work in the NFL. What job is he going to get making NFL money? And bringing all of the things that come to NFL. That's stupid as hell. From Greg O X Squad, 334. Brady is 40 this year. Belichick is preparing. From who we got? Big Apple Bastard. Here we go. Next milestone Mello reach. I want to see Doug pee on himself like he does for Dirk. From Jam, from suburb of the A Shorty. I am not a Texans fan, but they are running back and quarterback away from competing for a championship. Romo and AP would put them over the top. Ooh. Yeah, but here's the problem with Tony Romo, and I keep talking about this. Romo's not going to make it through a season. Like, I just don't think that he's the same person. I think that he's damaged goods. He's damaged goods. I mean, I think that would be a perfect fit for Romo to go there to Houston. You got a couple problems. First of all, you got a problem with the amount of money that you gave Brock Osweiler. So what are you going to do? Are you going to put this big-time free agent on the bench? So you got all of the money that you're paying Brock Osweiler is a problem. And maybe you bring Romo in there and midway, a third of the season down, you bench Osweiler and you put Romo in. And you hope that he can survive for a couple of games at the end of the year and through the playoffs. And then you have Osweiler, back as the starter next year. I don't know. I don't know what Romo's going to command out in the open market. It's just very, very, very dangerous to think that Tony Romo is going to be your starting quarterback for an entire NFL season. I mean, that's the only problem. Yeah, I'm not a Romo fan. Yeah, Romo is probably a better option than a lot of these guys. Not as much of a better option than a lot of people think, because Tony Romo throws the ball to other teams on a high rate. But Tony Romo's got a lot of big numbers, a lot of stats. So he's probably a better option than a lot of these teams have. It's just very, very dangerous, man. It's very risky. It's very risky because I don't think this guy – I think the first time, literally like what happened to him this year, I think the very first time he takes a blindside hit from a defensive end or a linebacker, he's done. He's done for another substantial amount of time. What was it, 8 weeks this past year? So I think that if he takes a hard shot, the very first hard shot he takes, I think he's done. He's like Mr. Glass at this point. From T-Dub, but to her, I'm Dub Ski. The video changes nothing. If you think of a dude hiring, or I guess he means hitting a female, what are you thinking? That he tapped her on the shoulder? I don't know. It definitely adds something, T-Dub. I disagree. Dat Boy Chucky. Let me take a look at Dat Boy Chucky. More chocolate. Thank you, Dat Boy Chucky. But back to T-Dub. But T-Dub, your point in which you're making, it shouldn't matter if there's video or not. It should all be treated as the same. I think in the perfect world, that should be the case, but you know that's not the case. You know, because there's a little bit of vagueness. There's a little bit of vagueness to the degree of the assault. Like, if you hear about a player, you know, allegedly assaulting his wife, he's going to say, well, I didn't do anything. I only pushed her, and my hand happened to hit underneath her chin or something like that, but it was nothing like that. And she could argue and say, no, he slugged the shit out of me. No, he almost knocked me out like Mike Tyson. But, you know, if there's no video, it's just one person's word against the other. But when you see the video, okay, and it answers all your questions about to the degree of the assault, it's totally different. So, no, I don't agree with you on that. Nah, I don't think so. From Cornelius Small, really tried to kill her. No, it was called a one-hitter quitter, not a kill move. From Big L X Squad, Gary G. I said that when they fired the bro that took them to the Super Bowl, downhill. From D. Bose, he says, hey, Doug, spit should stay in your mouth. I don't agree with hitting the women, but shrug. Yeah. Man. I thank God. I thank God that I've never been in a position like that, because clearly she egged this whole thing on. And now he went left out of you've seen the video. You know the circumstances around this thing. You know, he left out, or he was outside. He came into the building, into this restaurant or bar or whatever, man, you know, seeking out confrontation. He did. And then the chick just jumped up and put her hands on him and allegedly called him the N-word. I understand you getting upset, but damn, dude, you ain't have to one-hitter quitter the chick. Like, imagine the difference in the conversation and how differently you look at this if he just like Superman push past her ass. Like, he would just pushed her off and pushed her back, and she went backwards and fell over a table or whatever. Then you would have said, oh, well, he was just trying to get her off him. He instinctually just pushed him off her, push her off of him. But when you see that video and he follows through with this punch, man, it's not good. Actually, it's very, very bad. It is. But they make it seem like he wasn't punished. He was punished. He was given an opportunity after he was punished. Like, the narrative almost feels like that he wasn't punished. And Bob Stoops just, apologizing and explaining the situation. They don't have to explain nothing. They suspended that man for a whole year. That's an extreme punishment. Maybe it should have been more. You can make the argument it should have been less. Let that man live, man. Move on. Damn. Hey, when we get back from the break, man, a little entertainment talk. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.
I feel everything 1,000 times. I got this black boy rage that don't fade, and we all got it, but it's not innate. These days the sunshine you need to leave is commonplace. I suffocate in heartache, fighting demons that I can't escape. I should just pack up everything and move back to that island. I hear it calling me in quiet moments. I low-key never want to go back to a city I'm in love with. Oh, cause my Valentine left me bloody and loveless. And for my safety, I assume that every stranger hates me. This black skin don't make friends, but it can break you down. I used to think that every colored face could underdig, but I fight alone, and I can see that now.